Aloha and welcome to Knitted Paradise, where the needles are clicking and the yarn is squishy. My name is Lucia, and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Pearl of the Pacific. Welcome to episode 40. Today is Sunday, September 13th. Yes, Sunday, September 13th. And yeah, I've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. It's the 14th? Oh, it's the 14th, sorry. Got a day off. Anyway, it is September, so we have the September knit-along going along, which is vacation themed. So anything that reminds you of vacation or something you started on vacation, something like that. There's a chatter thread and a finished objects thread in the Ravelry group, which is Knitted Paradise Podcast. And if you haven't joined it, you should. So go post your finished objects there when you're done, or chatter about what you're working on. We'd love to see it. Or pictures of your vacation and how it reminds you of your yarn, or vice versa. So, okay, the other announcement is in October, it's going to be my 1-year podiversary. I have been doing this for almost a year. That's kind of crazy. So to celebrate that, I've decided to do a swap. I know I've talked about this in previous episodes, but I finally, kind of settled on something and set it all in motion. There is a sign-ups thread in the Ravelry group, so go find that. I've stickied it to the top, so it should be pretty easy to find. And the way it's going to go down is that it's a sock skein swap. So you're going to get a partner. And I think I may do that your partner, and you and your partner exchange yarn instead of sending it to someone and someone else sending it to you. I like the idea of sending it to the same person. So I'm going to pair people up so that you'll exchange stuff with other people. And I've asked everyone to fill out what their favorite colors are and what their not so favorite colors are. So you don't, if you, I'm not a pink person. I just don't wear a lot of pink or red. And so I don't end up with this skein of yarn that's pink and red. Not that I mind, but it won't be for me. It'll be for someone else who likes pink and red. And we're going to try to do locally dyed. If you have a local dyer, that'd be great, because we want to support local. If you don't have anyone that you know that dyes local to you, pick your favorite indie dyer. Because we want to support those people as well. And if you have a local indie dyer that's one of your favorite, that would be even better. I think I know who I'm going to be purchasing a skein from for my partner. I don't know who my partner is yet, so I don't know what colorway. But she is a local indie dyer who happens to be a friend of mine. So that's the deal. And then we're also going to include some sort of notion or notions pouch or tin or something that matches the yarn in some way. So either, stitch markers that match the yarn, or, notions pouch or tin that matches the yarn in some way. Whether it's the colorway name or just the colors or however you want to do it. So that someone kind of has a setup for a project of some sort, whether it's a shawl or socks or whatever. And then we're also going to throw in something edible. So, chocolate is often a favorite, or, mixed nuts and fruit, or whatever, dried fruit, because you don't want to mail fresh fruit. Stuff like that. Just, or something local, whatever you feel like, and then whatever you feel like else throwing in there. So the price range is going to be about $25 to $30, because I think that should about cover, a skein of yarn and a, set of stitch markers or tape measure or something. And yeah, so go sign up in the Ravelry group, and I will be the sign-ups are open for another couple weeks, so you have a little bit of time, but sign up early so that you don't forget. And then I'll be assigning partners, and then I'll PM you, your partner's information, basically. And yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. I love swaps, so yay swaps. All right, enough about that. Now let's get to some knitting. On the island, I have, go back. I still have my beach bag, which I haven't touched. I have my Gryffindor scarf, which I have worked on. I can just kind of show you briefly. I've got 2 more stripes done. This is what it looks like. So I got, where's the end? So I was here last time I showed it. So I've got 2 more repeats done. I've kind of made this my movie night and game night knitting because I don't really have to pay attention to it. And I can just, knit until I get to where I have to do the yellow stripes, then I kind of have to pay attention. But it's still just knitting. There's no real pattern. So, stick this back in there. It's almost too big for the bag. Once I join the next skein of yarn, it'll be a little too big for the bag, but that's okay. Tea Leaves cardigan, I have started finally. And the Tea Leaves cardigan is by Melissa Labar out of Sun Valley Fibers, MCN worsted in Smoke Signals. And here it is. Ta-da! I've just joined the 3rd skein of yarn, 3rd ball, 3rd cake, whatever you want to call it. And that's what it looks like. And I'm just starting the waist shaping. The pattern actually doesn't have any waist shaping, so I'm adding some in. I went and read the part about waist shaping in my Fit to Flatter book by Amy Herzog and figured out what I need to do. And so that's what the stitch markers are for. So I'm really excited about that. The yarn is super squishy and soft. So that's what I've been working on. It's just simple stockinette right now, so, well, besides decreases for the waist shaping, but got all these little, that's the end of the last skein. I haven't been alternating skeins. I've been alternating them like when it's about time to add the new ball. I'll do 2 skeins of the new one, 2 skeins or 2 rows of the new one, 2 rows of the old one, 2 rows of the new one, 2 rows of the old one, and then usually it's about it. I have that tiny little ball, and then I just knit with the new one. The skeins match really well, so I haven't had a problem. So that's that. What else? Hermione's Everyday Socks. I have finally recast on these socks for a friend of mine that this is the 3rd time I've knit them. And this is out of the Loopy You seasoning series in Gothic Sweetheart. And I finally settled on the Hermione's Everyday Socks by Erica Luder. And I like how it's turning out. It's really simple. I like the striping. It's not intentional, but I like it. And they're coming along really quickly because the pattern's so simple. And I added some extra. The problem with the initial pair that I knit for my friend, and I sent them to her, and she sent them back because they were too small. So I took them to Prague, and I knit on them there, and I tried them on, and they were barely fitting over my feet. So I decided, well, those are definitely going to be too small for her because I have smaller feet. So I ripped them out, and now I've recast them on, and I've added some more stitches, and also this stitch pattern is very stretchy. So hopefully there will be no problems this time with fit, and we'll be good to go. Let's see what else. Oh, and I started some socks for my husband out of the Gnome Acres Sporty Sock in little plastic bricks, the Lego themed yarn. I just got some toes. And this is a sport weight yarn. This is her Sporty Gnome base. And so I'm wondering, so that's what it looks like. I had picked a pattern, but I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with that pattern. I may change it. So that's why I'm not telling you what pattern I'm doing, because I've just done the toe and I don't know which one I'm going to do. But I'm thinking I need to get a coordinating yarn for the heels and cuff, and maybe rip these out and do the coordinating toe, just a solid color from here, just because it is a sport weight skein, and so it's a little shorter. It's got 325 yards. That may be enough to do enough socks, socks for my husband. That'd be definitely enough for me, but he has bigger feet, and so that's why I haven't done a whole lot on these since I did the toe. I'm kind of contemplating finding a coordinating heel and toe and cuff solid colorway so that I make sure I won't run out of yarn. So those are in the works. And I think that's it for On the Island. I have a couple things which have set sail. Yay! So the knitted thing that has set sail is my Oriole lace shawl out of Fleur de Fibre in Police Box. And it turned out quite large. And this is a pattern I got on the Yarn Crawl from Windy Knitty, which is one of my local yarn stores, and it's not available on Ravelry. I had someone ask me, where did I get this pattern? So that's where it came from. But it's a crescent shaped shawl, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. That's the lace pattern on the edge, so you can see that. It's very cool. And yeah, I'm going to wear it today. So, ooh, I have to clip the ends. I wove them in and then I blocked it, but I haven't trimmed them off yet, so I'll have to do that before choir. But I like crescent shaped shawls. I might like tuck the ends in. But ta-da! So that's the Oriole lace shawl. I forget who it's by. I'll put that in the show notes. Because I forgot to put it in before I started recording. So I don't know, but I'll look it up and put it in there. The other thing I finished was my Parisian restaurant, which is my Lego house. Ta-da! Here it is. So I think last time you saw it, I was here, or maybe here. I don't remember, but it comes in kind of 3 sections. So you have I think I just showed you the restaurant last time. So last time I just had the restaurant done, or the cafe, kind of. And then next there's an apartment up here. You see that this part does detach. I'll just show it to you like this. Oh, dude fell out of his bed. I did add some extra people. It didn't come with all these people, so if you're wondering why there are more people than there are in the actual set, it's because I added more. So this is the apartment. Ta-da! So it's got a bed. It's actually got a Murphy bed. The bed actually folds up into the wall, which is amazing. It's got a kitchenette. Oops. I just knocked off one of the plants. Go back. It's got a kitchenette on this side. Ta-da! Little table and stools. And then it has a fireplace with a swivel chair on the other side. That's what you keep here moving around, is this swivel chair. But it's actually got the fireplace. Is that the one that, oh no, that's in the top one. So that's that. And then there's stairs in the back. I love these hanging baskets. Those are amazing. And then it's got more seating for the cafe up here as well. And little drinks on the table. And then you've got the chimney here for the fireplaces. And the stove downstairs. And then on the top, you have this little studio, which is adorable. First, just take a look at that. These are little feathers or something. I love those. I love how they create this texture. It's amazing. And then there's these little white croissants. And they've got these shells up here. And these curvy pieces right here are actually what they use on tires. I mean, like a wheel well on cars. Why won't you focus? Darn thing. There we go. It's brilliant how they put this together. It's so cool. The roof, how the roof comes together is just amazing. So, oh, I stuck all the extra pieces in here. Inside, you've got a little artist studio, which is adorable. So I found a little artist in our plethora of Lego dudes, little minifigs, and put him there with his paintbrush and his easel, and he's painting away. It's very fun. And there's a furnace up here, which actually opens. Oh, I knocked over dude with his painting. Sorry. The furnace opens. I know it's really dark, so it's really hard to see, but I promise you the furnace does open. It's really fun. Anyway, so that's the little artist studio, and then he's got his little back door over here. Just look at the detail. They've got this little lamp by his door and a little plant and an awning. Lego, you are amazing. And then this is the roof that just closes with the windows. It's just, and the flower boxes. I mean, it's just incredible. So this goes this way. Ta-da! And it just sits on top. So that is it, the Parisian restaurant. Ta-da! So I'm very happy with that. It's been sitting in our bedroom so I can admire it. So that is done. On the horizon, I still have the Arezzo tank, which I do still plan on making. I knitted the swatch and then I washed and dried it, and it was taking a little longer to dry. And I put it on top of a shelf so that the cat couldn't get to it, and then I kind of forgot about it until the other day, so I need to measure my gauge and then knit it. Although fall happened this week. It's the middle of September. All of a sudden it was 50 degrees outside. It was crazy. So I'll probably be wearing that over a long sleeve t-shirt or shirt because it's a little chilly here in Chicagoland. But that's okay. The other thing that I want to do is make felted acorns. I don't know if you've seen these. I've seen them on Etsy a lot. But I went on a bike ride yesterday, which I'll talk about a little later, and I stopped at this little park, and there were a ton of little acorns on the ground. So I picked up a bunch of little acorns. And what the felted part is that you take the top off. So that's the top of one of them that just kind of pop. They just pop off after a certain number of, I don't know, days or weeks or whatever. So the top just kind of pops off, and then you knit and then like needle felt a little. I mean, this shape of wool basically, and then you glue it to the top, and you get a little felted acorn, and then you can use them as decoration. And then you can stick the actual acorn part back outside for the chipmunks and squirrels. Yeah, I counted chipmunks on my ride yesterday. I saw 7 chipmunks in one day, in one ride. Not squirrels, chipmunks. It was the oddest thing. Because there's squirrels everywhere, but I saw like 6 or 7 chipmunks. It was crazy. Anyway, I love chipmunks. They're adorable. So I was very happy that I was seeing a lot of them. So I picked up a whole bunch of these. I only brought a few over to show. But I plan on making those. If you want to know what they look like, there's a bunch on Etsy. If you just search for felted acorn, you'll find it. So those are going to happen. I haven't really ever felted before, so we'll see how that goes. It may be a little while, but that's okay. It'll be fun. I also have decided, I realized that the background, the lovely white wall background, is a little plain, and I think it needs a little excitement. So what I've decided to do is knit little things, like make a garland or a bunting kind of thing that I can hang behind me and knit little things to hang on it. You know, that might change with the season. Like in spring, there might be flowers, and fall might be leaves, and winter, you know, mittens and cute little hats. But I have a bunch, I mean, everyone has little scraps of sock. I have a ton of sock yarn scraps or other scraps, and so I've decided to just knit little things, you know, little hearts or whatever to go on a little thing behind me so that you don't have to look at the plain wall. If you don't feel like looking at me, then you can look at that because it's pretty. So I just picked out a few random skeins, or whatchamacallit. Scraps, skeins, scrap thingies, whatever, and put them in here. And I found a couple patterns in Ravelry for like little knitted hearts or something, and so that's gonna happen. So that's up next, and that's it for things on the needles, off the needles. Oh, I forgot the little, I found this little guy. Let's see if it'll focus on him. He's sleeping. He's got these, and he's got in his pajamas with his hair ruffled. Oh, come on, focus. It's really cute, if it will ever focus. My camera is silly. Anyway. He goes in the bed, where the bed is, in the house. Oh, I'll have to shut his door the other way. Alright. Now I have some things from the mainland. This is the last batch of Stitches yarn, and today's theme is blues. I have a lot of blue yarn left. This is kind of like what's left, and it happens to mostly be blue. So, as you can see, it's mostly blue. So I'll just put this in front of me and go from there. Alright, well, we will start with some Dragonfly fiber. This is her Damsel base, which is 100% superwash merino in blue velvet. And it is a very royal blue. And I got 2 skeins of it because I plan on knitting the bigger on the inside shawl. It's got this lovely textured pattern on the top, and then TARDISes along the bottom. So I was looking for the perfect TARDIS blue for that. So here it is. I said it's the Dragonfly fiber. Okay, I want to make sure that we get all these things. I also stopped at Sophie's Toes and got 2 skeins of sock yarn in her 100% superwash merino base, and we got Cobalt and Midnight Sky. So this is the Cobalt, which is blue, very blue, and this is Midnight Sky, which is kind of a, it's got grays and it's tonal blue with some gray. So those are going to go together in some sort of shawl or something. I also went to the Sanguine, or the Verdant Griffin, used to be the Sanguine Griffin, and got some Bugga, which is 70%, it's an MCN, and it's a sport weight. Ooh, I'd forgotten that it was a sport weight, so that's kind of exciting. And this is an experimental love child, which means that it didn't quite turn out how she wanted. So it's just, there's just 1 skein of it, but it's beautiful tonal. It's a little more teal than it's turning out. There's a lot more green in it than the other blue ones. If I put it next to this, you can kind of see that it's got some green. And okay, next I went to the Bijou Basin and got some Himalayan Trail, which is also a sport weight. It's yak down and merino, and this is the Sky colorway, which is one of their Outlander colorways. I got it because my roommate in high school, I mean not in high school, in college, her name was Skye, S-K-Y-E, and so I was like, oh, I know a Skye, and plus I love this color. So Ta-da! I don't know what that's going to become yet. I thought of doing the Whispering Pines shawl by Molly of the Homespun House, but it needs 2 skeins and I only have 1, so I might need to procure another one. But I haven't knit with it, but it feels very nice. So we will see. Alright. The last thing I got actually at Stitches was I stopped at the Lost City Knits booth, and because I get a little bookmark of sorts, and Chris of Lost City Knits was there with his camera, and he had this really cool flash set up in the corner of their booth, and he wanted to take some pictures of me with my sweater and my cool clavicle cover. And so I was like, sure, someone wants to take professional pictures of me in my knitwear? How are you going to say no to that? So I stopped there because he wanted to take some pictures. He was taking pictures of some other people. You can go on their website and see them. Also, I've posted them on Instagram and Ravelry as well. And so, of course, since I was there, I had to look at their yarn. So I got 2 skeins of, I think it's Foothills Fingering. Yep, they're both Foothills Fingering, which is 100% merino. And this one is Glacier, which is this beautiful light sea glass blue-green, which is my favorite color as of late. And I got Pot-Bellied Stove, which is a nice gray. So I'm going to do something with those together. Not sure what yet, but these are very generous skeins. There's 560 yards in both of these, and it looks like it's a 2-ply fingering. So I mean it's gonna be a shawl or maybe even a sweater. It's 570 yards, that might even be enough for a sweater. Ooh, come on computer, there we go. So we'll see what those are going to become, but those are going to be together. And that's it for Stitches yarn. But there's some more in the bucket. I guess it was during the yarn crawl. One of my local stores held a Malabrigo event that I remember telling you about. And if you wore something that you knit out of Malabrigo, which I have plenty of, then you would get a 20% off coupon that you could use at a later date. And I kept forgetting to use it because I don't go in there terribly often because I have tons of yarn. And so finally I was thinking, oh, I need to use this coupon. I knew exactly what I was going to buy, so it just was a matter of going in and getting it. So I finally went and got it because the coupon was expiring, and it was 20% off of just Malabrigo. So of course, what did I get? Malabrigo. I have been eyeing this colorway for a long time. It's Indecita, and this is in the Rio space. And it's beautiful blues and shove that tie in there. It's blues and purples and greens and amazingness. So that's Indecita. So I got, I think, 4 skeins of this sweater's worth, basically. And then I also got 2 skeins of the same colorway in fingering in stock. So here's another view of that same colorway. And I got 2 skeins of this, and I'm going to knit the Hitofude. I've been wanting to knit that for a long time. I just didn't know exactly what I wanted to knit it out of. So, ta-da! There's this beautiful tonal greens, blues, I don't even know what. But I kept seeing it every time I go into that shop, which wasn't terribly often, but it was often enough that I need that yarn. So that's what I got, and that is it for yarn purchases for a while. At least until Vogue Knitting Chicago. Oh, ta-da! All right, that's it for From the Mainland. I don't have a flora and fauna this week. I was trying to think of something and then it just never came to me. I had a really good one, so I'll just have to wait till next week to remember to write it down. And but I don't want to make this episode too long by doing one of those sections anyway. So we're gonna skip to From My Holly, and I mentioned that I did a bike ride yesterday, and ooh, it just got really sunny. I rode about, I'd say like 35 miles, which was pretty good. It wasn't as far as I was originally intending, but I got to a place where I was like, okay, I'm done. I want to turn around. So I just took my bike and left the house and just rode up north. And there's a nice trail that I could follow, so I didn't have to deal with cars. Because on my other really long rides, I've been riding to my friend's house, which is south of me, southwest, and but I have to ride on main streets, and it's taxing to ride. It seemed a lot easier and definitely a lot more peaceful to ride on a trail, and it's a paved trail, so that's nice. Most of it's paved. Some of it is the crushed limestone, so I tried to avoid that whenever possible. Because it's fine if your bike has suspension, but it's a road bike, so mine doesn't. So that was good. I felt good after that ride. I was a little tired, but that's okay. I borrowed a pair of riding pants from a friend that were kind of a lifesaver. It's been cold here, I'll admit. I think they finally turned the heat on today because the apartment seems a lot warmer. We had a fire in the fireplace yesterday. What happened to summer? It's the middle of September and all of a sudden it's like wham bam, here's fall. It's 50 degrees. What happened? I was just getting used to hot weather. So we took the air conditioners out yesterday, which we'd been using like a week before, so it seemed really odd, but whatever, here comes fall. Yay for fall. We're going to be in for it this winter. I'm not so excited. I was still enjoying the warm weather. Anyway, so it was pretty chilly on my bike ride yesterday, so I was very grateful for those pants. I have bike shorts, but I didn't have bike pants. So I wore those and a Gore-Tex. I have a windbreaker raincoat, Gore-Tex jacket thing that I wore the whole time. The whole 35 miles. The sun did come out, but it was still pretty chilly. And especially when you're riding along at 15 miles an hour and you got wind in your face, it can get pretty chilly. The other thing was I had in that section was the felted acorns, but I already talked about those because I picked these up on my ride, and I was so good. I rode right past a yarn shop and did not go in. I felt very good. It's like I don't need any more yarn, and I don't need to be tempted by looking at pretty yarn. Plus I was on my bike, so it's not like I could really carry any more yarn. So that was good. I think that's it. It's about 10 o'clock here, so I'm gonna finish getting ready for choir, put away all my stuff, and hopefully get this edited and uploaded this afternoon. So enjoy your week. Happy knitting, and I will see you again soon. Bye!